Millions of us are talking to hundreds of people online every single day. We're constantly sending messages into the void, liking, sharing, and scrolling through these endless streams of faces. But when you stop and think about the sheer glowing scale of all this digital communication, and you juxtapose that against the quiet, empty rooms so many of us actually sit in, a pretty dark reality starts to take shape. We've managed to build the most connected society in human history, and yet we're haunted by a completely silent epidemic. Let's dive into this explainer.
I mean, think about it. We have social media, streaming platforms, online games, dating apps, AI companions. We literally have endless forms of instant connection right at our fingertips. So why does loneliness just keep growing?
It's because connection and companionship are not the same thing. Somewhere along the line, we confused the speed of data with the depth of an actual relationship. And that subtle, devastating difference, well, that is exactly where the real business begins. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on one of the most emotional subjects in modern society and looking at the hidden systems built to monetize it.
Part 1. The connection paradox.
Look, for thousands of years, human survival depended entirely on communities, families, tribes, finding safety in numbers. Belonging wasn't just some nice-to-have luxury. It was literally the fundamental difference between life and death. Because of that, connection became deeply biologically rooted in our psychology. But today, we've traded the safety of the tribe for busy schedules, remote work, and these highly transient urban lifestyles. We are fundamentally not designed to live completely alone, and yet our modern routines basically enforce an incredibly isolated existence. Which brings us to part 2, the architecture of isolation. Obviously, technology connected the world. Messages travel instantly now. Video calls are just the norm. Social media connected billions of people across the globe, and it made the world feel intimately small. But honestly, it's a hollow victory. Because while communication has absolutely skyrocketed, so many of us still experience this profound sense of loneliness. Communicating with billions of people is kind of meaningless if maintaining actual physical relationships has become harder than ever before. So how did we physically get here? It was really a gradual, chronological erosion of our shared time. First, busy schedules started eating away at our availability. Then, remote work came along and removed the daily physical proximity we had with colleagues. Urban lifestyles packed us into these massive high-rises where we don't even know our own neighbors. And this constant movement we're all doing prevents any deep roots from ever taking hold. Time itself just became our ultimate limited resource.
Part 3. The companionship economy.
Social networks, dating apps, online games, AI companions. We have all been taught to view these things simply as software, right? As tools. But let's reframe that for a second. These are massive businesses built entirely on the value of human connection. They exist and they generate billions in revenue precisely because connection has this intrinsic, almost desperate value in an isolated world.
So what is the actual psychological commodity these industries are harvesting? It's belonging. That natural human search for understanding, friendship, and emotional support. When you use these platforms, you aren't paying for pixels or bandwidth. You're searching for belonging. And the market? Well, the market is more than happy to sell you a simulation of it.
Part 4. Engineering belonging.
We love to tell ourselves we're just consuming content. Podcasts, YouTube, live streams, TV shows. But for a lot of people, this isn't just entertainment anymore. These formats are actively providing company. They're serving as artificial companionship for the isolated consumer, essentially filling the silence of an empty apartment with the illusion of a crowded room. And the psychological hook here is incredibly effective. Over time, familiar voices start to feel personal. When you listen to the same host every week or watch the same streamer every night, your brain actually registers them as a physical presence. The routine itself creates a genuine emotional attachment. Without even realizing it, you start feeling comforted by people who don't even know you exist. Because this is the corporate endgame. Belonging creates identity, and identity creates loyalty. This is exactly why gaming groups, fitness communities, and online forums matter so much to the bottom line. Corporations know that at our core, we just want to feel understood. If a brand can give you a community, they give you an identity. And once they own your identity, your loyalty is absolute. Our society is rapidly adopting to these new forms of interaction. Long-distance digital friendships, AI conversations, entire virtual worlds. But the grounding truth remains completely unchanged. Our emotional needs are exactly the same. They are deeply human. They aren't changed by microchips or fiber optics. We are basically trying to treat ancient biological needs with artificial digital solutions.
Which leads us to part 5, the true product.
This is the defining realization of this entire industry. You think you're buying entertainment, you think you're downloading an app for communication, or simply purchasing a new piece of tech. But what these businesses are actually selling you is connection, belonging, comfort, companionship. The technology is merely the packaging. The true product is the mitigation of your own isolation.
So we're forced to ask a pretty chilling question. Can technology actually replace human connection? There's no simple answer here. Technology undoubtedly helps us communicate across vast distances. We've seen that. But as we're learning, deeply human emotional needs remain fundamentally unresolved by a glowing screen. A text message cannot hold your hand, and an AI cannot share your silence.
The truth is simple, and yet it's devastating. Loneliness is not the absence of people. It's the absence of connection. You can live in a massive city of millions. You can have thousands of followers online and still be starving for a genuine link. The methods of connection have changed, absolutely, but our biological desire for it hasn't.
At the end of the day, behind every piece of technology, behind every app and every screen, there is a human story. Everyone wants to feel understood. It's the ultimate human truth, and it just happens to be the foundation of a multi-billion-dollar economy. So, the next time you open an app to fill a quiet moment, ask yourself, are you really looking for entertainment, or are you just looking to belong?
This is CorpFile, inside the world of big brands. Subscribe to explore the real stories behind the companies that shape our world.